Good evening, everyone. Tonight on Channel 10 News, we'll speak with the clergymen of our area. As you know, Burgeo has two new ministers, Rev Glen Small of the Anglican Church and Pastor David Milley of the Pentecostal Church. We'll be speaking with them. We'll show you an interview that NTV did with Miss Burgeo, Belinda Barnes. We'll talk with Barbie Young, a grade 7 student who has a pretty fantastic pin pal collection. And we'll see how the kids of Burgeo spent their summer. First tonight, Western Construction is busy as bees in on the Burgeo Road. On Thursday, Ron and I went into Southbrook where they have their camp set up to see how things are progressing. Mr. Simon, what's your position here with Western?
General foreman.
Can you tell us how much has been done on the road, just how far along you guys are?
Well, our Class B operation is, what do you say, about 70% now? About 80% now, our Class B operation.
Okay.
Our rock operation is about 90% finished.
And what's after that?
After that, our Class A operation has just got started. I mean, it's young than anything now yet.
So, providing that the weather and everything's fine, when do you expect the completion date to be?
Another month, maybe?
Yeah.
No, it's hard to say. Maybe longer than that. Depends on the weather.
Yeah. What size crew do you have in here working?
We have 35, approximately 35 men.
And they're made up of what, crushers and...
Crushers, loaders, operators, and laborers, flagmen, what have you. Practice to, get your camps. We did first set up separate camps, and then we did start our crushing. And from our crushing, we put it on the road, our Class B operation. At first, we go with our rock, and then our Class B, Class A, and then our asphalt. That's in that order.
When do you expect your men to be out on the other side of the road out to Burgeo?
2 weeks, maybe. At the latest. We got men in there now working.
Yeah. Have any guys from Burgeo working here?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Yeah. How many?
2 or 3, I guess. We expect to hire more when we get out there.
Is your money, is your dollars going as far as you thought?
My dollars? Government dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, I would imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay.
I think they would probably add a little more to it. Maybe. Let's hope so. Huh?
So, first number, okay. How many kilometers altogether are going to be laid?
Asphalt, I think it's 19.4, if I'm to be correct.
So are you... We're standing here now on top of some Class A. The Class A is the last thing to go on the road before the asphalt. We're at a site now at Western Construction where they have all their crushers, and as you can see there's some Class A right in the back, and the workers here are busy as bees today getting things ready. So hopefully in a couple of weeks they should be headed out to Burgeo. Nancy Berder for BBS News. Kids have lots of ways of entertaining themselves these days, and in many instances educate themselves while having fun. I have one young person with me today, Barbie Young, who does just that. Barbie has a pretty fantastic pin pal collection. Barbie, how did you get started with your pin pal collection?
Well, my friend Krista gets to Weekender, and she decided to put her name in there. When she put her name in there, she got all kinds of letters come back. So I figured that if I do it, I get some letters too. So she gave me the address, and I put my name in. And a few weeks later, my name was in there. And then I got lots and lots of letters back.
So about how many pen pals do you have now?
Well, just an estimate around 20, 22.
Ooh, that's still a lot of letters to write.
Yeah.
So about how many letters do you have to write a week?
Well, at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
At least 3 a week.
So are all these people girls or all boys or?
They're all girls except one boy.
You got one boy pen pal. Oh, where's he from?
He's from Port Bass.
Oh, I see. So do you get to find out a lot about these people's lives and if it's different from where you were? And
Yeah, like for one instance, this girl wrote me she was from St. John's, and she got to take the bus to school. We don't have to take the bus, we can just walk.
Yeah. Any other different things, like some of these people live in farm areas where you're living in fishing town?
Well, one girl had some goats and rabbits and all these, like they had 6 acres of farmland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that must be pretty interesting, learning about everyone's different lifestyles.
After a while, you start to learn a lot about them.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite one?
This one, there's one here.
Okay. Maybe we can flick to a shot of Barbie's pen pals now, when our cameraman is ready. There's so do you know where these people are from, Barbie?
Well, Susan Eric is, the first picture is from St. John's.
Okay, that's the larger picture right here. Okay. You know any of the other ones?
No, I'm not too sure on there.
Yeah, there's so many. It's hard to get them. Okay. Do you want to share some of your things with us?
This one's name is Marlene Brown.
Okay.
It was around Easter time she wrote me.
Okay.
And she gave me this Easter card.
Get a shot of the card. Okay. Let me open it up and see what's inside.
To a very special pen pal, I had you are very nice, but I never saw you. Yours truly, Marlene Brown.
Oh, that was nice. So you get lots of special treats from your pen pals, lots of nice letters and things?
Yeah. There's one that gave me a card, too.
Yeah?
Sent me this card.
Okay. So was this any special time of the year or just the...
Well, around about the same time. Roses are reds, violets are blue. Don't be a fool and write me back, and I'll write you. I hope you will be my pen pal. From Tracy Osborne.
She's got a sense of humor. Okay. So Barbie, you want to read us one of your letters?
Well, I'll read the one from Marlene Ann Brown.
Okay.
Dear Barbie, I would like to be your pen pal. My name is Marlene Brown. I got brown hair and have brown eyes. I got 5 sisters and 2 brothers. Have you got any brothers or sisters? I got pets, goldfishes, 1 cat. Have you got any pets? I am 14 years old and in grade 6. I got put behind in primary school 1 year. My hobbies are riding bike, going to dances, rock music, riding bike, going up road, much more. I get friends. I got friends, Nancy, Wanda, Katrina, Carolyn, Allison, Angie, and many more. Have you got a boyfriend? I have. His name is Kevin Freak. I don't go out with him. He lives in Fogo. up in Cove. We are getting a new sofa and a hint table or rocking cart. I haven't got much to say for now. I write you soon. Love, Marlene and Brent.
That's kind of interesting. So maybe we can answer some of these questions about you, Barbie. Do you have any pets?
I have 2 kids.
And what grade are you in?
I'm going to grade 7.
Yeah. And you're, say what, 13? 12, 13?
I'm 12. I'll be 13 in January.
Oh, good. Do you have some more things you want to show us? Like, where are some of these people from? You have a list of the places where they're from?
Yep. Right here.
Okay.
Port aux Basques, Fogo Island, Rose Blanche, Robertson, St. John's, Shoal Harbor, Corner Brook, Gaulis, Spurrell, Glenwood, Port Union, Burnt Islands, Garnish, North Harbor, Grand Banks, St. Lawrence, Spaniards Bay, Milltown, Pasadena, Buena Vista.
So all of them are in Newfoundland?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Barbie, for coming in and sharing that with us. But before we go, I wanted you to answer a question for me. Would you encourage other people your age to start writing people? Do you think it will be educational and be nice for everyone to have pen pals?
Yes, well, see, we get lots of advantages, right? And, well, you can write them and tell them all the things that you can do here, and they write you back and tell them all their friends and what they can do and how they get to school and if they live on a farm or anything like that.
Sounds interesting. And where can people write for pen pals? You say it was in the Weekender.
In the Weekender, and sometimes they put the address in.
Okay, great. Thanks, Barbie. And who knows, maybe one day you'll get to meet one of your pen pals, huh? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
School officially opens on Tuesday. Some kids are excited and some aren't. Dallas Barter and Mike Pink took a stroll around town last week to talk to the kids to find out how they spent their summer and how they feel about returning to school.
Did you enjoy your summer, Lewis?
It was very nice.
What kind of things did you do?
Swimming, going in the park, and grew up to my grandpa, and all kinds of other things.
Did you have a good summer, did you?
Yes.
And can you wait to go back to school?
No.
No? Can't wait to go back to school. You must have had a good summer then?
Yep.
Okay, well, Lewis, thank you. Marcel?
It was pretty good, but we had a lot of rainy days.
Did you go anywhere, travel?
Went up the brook a few times and goes up Sam makes that.
What kind of things did you do up the brook?
We go swimming, goes off in boats and catches flurries and kills them.
Do you like it up the brook?
Yep, we loves it up there. Nice up there.
And can you wait to go back to school?
Nope, I don't want to go back.
You don't want to go back?
Nope.
Why not?
Because teachers are always learning stuff.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good.
What kind of things did you do?
Like, I went up Rock Island, went Sandwich a few times, and different things.
What kind of things did you do up to Rock Island?
We went shooting, we went in berry picking, and getting up in water and going on the boat.
Well, that must have been fun.
Yeah.
Did you strike good weather up there?
We had a few good days, and we had a lot of fire. Not too much.
So you enjoyed yourself, did you?
Yeah.
And I suppose you can't wait to go back to school?
No way.
Why not?
Summer's a lot better.
Oh, okay, Danny. Thank you. Did you have a good summer, Roy?
Yep.
What kind of things did you do?
Not bad.
I understand you're not from Burgeo. Where are you from?
Ramya.
Did you enjoy coming over to Burgeo?
Yep.
What kind of things did you do over Ramya during summer?
Nothing.
Did you enjoy yourself here in Burgeo?
Yeah.
I suppose you can't wait to go back to school.
No way.
Summer, Rosemary?
Yeah.
What kind of things did you do?
Well, I went on my holidays, and
Where did you go on your holidays?
well, I went over Ramya, and I still got one place to go yet. And that's it.
What kind of things did you do while you were on your holidays?
Well, I met my old friends, and
That must have been nice.
yeah, and visit my relatives.
Did you enjoy yourself this summer?
Yes, I really
I suppose you can't wait to go back to school, though.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go back to school.
Oh, are you? Well, that's nice. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
What summer did you have, Penny?
Good one. We went to the cabin and went swimming and stuff.
Did you travel anywhere?
No, not yet, because we're going to Rose Match.
Oh, I see. And I suppose you can't wait to go back to school? No, you can't wait to go back? Well, you must have had a good summer then.
Yep.
Okay, Penny, thank you very much for talking with me. A good summer, Killen?
Yeah.
What kind of things did you do?
Well, we went in a cabin and went stayed in the cabin.
What kind of things did you do in the cabin?
Well, we went swimming and we went flying.
Did you have a good time in there?
Yeah.
Did you get much good weather in there?
Some days was foggy and rainy, but some days was nice.
Oh, and I suppose you can't wait to go back to school?
No.
With me here today is Pastor David Milley and his wife Elaine and son Andrew. You want to tell us a little bit about yourselves before we get started?
My name is, as you've already heard, my name is David. I'm from a town on the island of Newfoundland, a town by the name of Campbellton, a lot smaller than what Burgeo is, a town of about 800 people. My wife and I grew up together as children, played in the playpen together, and eventually we married each other. So we was blessed with a little boy to come into our home June 10th of this year. That makes him just 2.5 months old. And before coming to Burgeo, we spent 7 years of our life, so to speak, in Edmonton, Alberta. It was there that we done our education and prepared ourselves for our ministry here in Burgeo.
So your wife was telling me something pretty interesting before we started. You're only a young guy and you got your master's degree.
Yeah, I worked with my dad first coming out of high school for 1.5 years, and at age 18 I left for Alberta and started on my bachelor's degree at a place called Northwest Bible College. 4 years later, or 3.5 years later really, I got my bachelor's degree, and the opportunity was there for me to continue for further education. So I went on to what is known in the city as North American Baptist Divinity School, and there I graduated in April this year with my master's in divinity. So 7 years of education finally come to a standstill, which I'm glad it did.
And so now you're here. So are you enjoying your stay here in Burgeo?
Very much so. We've been here, I guess it's what, 4 weeks. 4 weeks yesterday from the time we landed in Burgeo. As I get out around the town and talk with different people, I find them really friendly. And my parents were down on the weekend and they asked, are you enjoying your stay in Burgeo? And I said, well, it's a place I think I could settle in for a long time. I find that people are friendly, and I can do without the fog sometimes, but the rain I don't mind. The sun, when it gets warm, it's really nice, but I think more than anything the people are really nice here and really friendly, and I find that they accept me as a stranger very well into their community, and I'm glad of that, because moving, I know what it's like when I left home and moved to a town, moved to Edmonton, a city. It took so long to get to know people, and moving again to a place like Burgeo. Once I was appointed to Burgeo, I already knew where it was, and I was kind of a little scared, thinking, well, we'll be accepted as a family, but everywhere you go, it's a nice hand of welcome and extended to you in the grocery store, wherever it is. My wife would probably like to make a comment.
Well, I was getting a little tired of living in the city.
Yeah.
And I was really looking forward to a break, and I find the pace of Burgeo very nice. It's a nice town. People, like Dave said, are very friendly. I just think we've been welcomed immensely by neighbors and people in the church, and even people that we're not really associated with, but just people that we've met, like Dave said, on the street or in the store or whatever. I find people very friendly. I like the pace of the town, and I'm really looking forward to our stay here.
Oh, good. Okay, do you find it difficult establishing a church in a town that's so dominated by another religion here at Anglican? Is it difficult?
Well, I think there's a lot of work to be done, because not that people are pretty much all the same, no matter what background they're from, so to speak, and you don't want to feel like you're coming into a town and trying to rob another minister's parish, or I don't want the Anglican minister, even the United minister, to think that, well, I'm here just to try to get the Anglican people, the United people. In that sense, it is a little hard, but in another sense, I find that there's a lot of people in Burgeo that don't go to any church at all. And to me, that's the people that I'm interested in a town such as this. If someone is going to an Anglican church, that is my major concern, is that they're attending a church of some sort. But the ones that don't go anywhere, that's the ones that I'm interested in making friends with and making contact with, and inviting them out to our church. Because Mr. Reverend Small and Reverend Guy Matthews, they got their congregation, and I don't think it'll be right for me, a new fellow coming in town, to try to persuade them to come my way.
No,
that's not the purpose in trying to establish a work here. The Pentecostal church, I think, have been here for 16, 17 years, something. And a lot of people have come and left, and people have been in the church and have moved to another town. And as I come, we've got a congregation of 6, 7 people that come out on Sunday. But I come and look at a town such as Burgeo and a church the size that we got here, and I think it's just like coming in when it hasn't ever been here before. And for me, I'm outgoing, so I get out in the community and meet people and make friends. And if they feel comfortable with me and feel like I got something to offer them, then I think they'll come and listen to what we got to say.
Do you think maybe that was a problem in the past? Do you think that maybe people did feel like they were being persuaded?
I think sometimes with denominations, there becomes such a barrier that I'm an Anglican, I'm United, I'm Pentecostal, or I'm Salvation Army. And I don't think there's any really need for that barrier, because I think we're all just individual people, and we all can worship God in the way we feel comfortable and attend a church we feel comfortable. The important thing is that one person can feel free to go to another person's church and fellowship there with them, and not that when they come into the door, if it's me going to an Anglican or if it's an Anglican coming to my church, so when I go into the door, that someone is thinking, I got to keep this person here. If they come and they feel that we got something to offer, then they can stay. And that's what I want to do as a minister, make people feel comfortable. And in my congregation, when I talk with people on Sundays, I tell them, more than anything else, when a new person comes into the church, make them feel comfortable, and let's not be pressuring them to do this or do that, or follow any styles or patterns that we got, but let them feel and worship God in the way that they feel they're most comfortable to do it.
I think it's important to present God to people and then let them choose the way they want to worship Him. But it's just important that, like Dave says, we're mostly ministering to the people that right now aren't hearing the message of God and aren't getting out to
a church.
What are some of the smaller differences that would probably make a person choose one church over the other?
Well, I think if you go to a United or Anglican, Pentecostal, even a Salvation Army, the different styles of worship, the way that people worship God. Like you go to some church and they're very quiet, and you go to a Pentecostal church, they're not as quiet as what they are in some other churches, and some people like that more so than others. And it's just, even sometimes as much as the way that the message of the gospel and the person of God and Jesus Christ is presented to people, some people seem to be more attracted to one side than the other. And I don't think that one person is so right and the other is so wrong. I just think that the style that people fit into. For me to have to go to a church that was really quiet and really laid back, I would find it a little difficult. I'm more of an outspoken person and like to express things with my hands a little more and move in that kind of way, as you can see me going with my hands now. But if you go to that's how come some people come to our church and feel very comfortable, because that's what they're like. But if somebody from another background would come, that they might feel kind of uncomfortable with that. And I don't know if I would hope so. And if a church is I would think that the message that is presented from a pulpit in a church that a minister would present, I would think it would be the same. Or also I would hope it would be the same. When you read the Word of God or read the Bible, it's pretty clear and cut, and I think that a minister would present what needs to be presented. And I hope that I don't already see them so much as differences, so to speak. I see them more as how people's personality fits within a church. Yeah. And for me, for the people of Burgeo that are listening, I give them a warm invitation to come and to listen to our church service. Probably some that's all they have ever went to is an Anglican church. And I would just invite them to come out and listen to what we got to say. And if you don't feel comfortable, if there's a lot of questions that you've got to answer, probably there will be. Some things stimulate questions. If I would go to an Anglican church, probably I would have to go up to the Anglican minister after the service and ask him questions about certain things. But I think that as we can feel comfortable with each other, we can fit into the place, into the church that we feel the most comfortable, we can worship God in the way we feel most comfortable. Because it's not the important thing of where we go or early what place we attend. The important thing is that we know our God and we do it. And if we can go to a church of whatever sort it is, and we can know that we've got a personal relationship with God and with His Son Jesus Christ, that is the important thing. And I think that we can find that in whichever church. But we got a small congregation, and people that don't go anywhere, I would enjoy if they could come and build our church up to the size of the Anglican or the United Church in the community, so that we could have 3 good established churches in Burgeo. I think that speaks well of a community. I really do. When people are church-going people and involved in the church functions, and if it's spread out over 3 different churches, people are involved in doing their part within a church and helping it to grow. And I think that really speaks well of a community. I do.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor Milley and Elaine.
And we've enjoyed this time, and to the people of Burgeo, I say, as you've seen the message on TV from time to time, I'm very proud to be a part of this community. I won't be the least bit ashamed to say when people ask me where you posted or where you're staying, to say it's in Burgeo. And I just give you a warm invitation, and I say, if you see me on the street, please shake my hand and let me know who you are. 3,500 people is a lot for one person to get to meet in a short period of time. Some of you I know, and most of you I don't know. So I just extend a warm invitation, and if you got questions or something that you're wondering about, feel free to approach me on them. I'm a very approachable kind of a person. I won't be jumping on anybody, but I will try to present the gospel as I see it to people.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
It was nice speaking with you. Well, Miss Burgeo, Belinda Burns was enjoying her trip to St. John's with MHA Dave Gilbert as her escort. She did an interview with NTV. We have that for you now.
Well, you were born and raised in Burgeo, were you?
That's right. Yeah, I've lived there all my life.
And you won out of a field of 15. So you must feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, it was a close competition because the judges said they had one man. He said, "I'd rather be a policeman any day than judge a pageant because it was so difficult."
Well, I understand you're going to Toronto now for a couple of weeks, and you want to see the sights and that kind of thing?
Yeah, they've got tours for me. I'm going to the CN Tower, Marineland, Ontario Place, Niagara Falls, the Blue Jays game. And then I go to Ottawa, meet the mayor.
Well, you're a lot luckier than I am. The last time I saw Toronto, I was about 13 years old. I can't really remember that much about it. But this entire thing is it's all for the come home here in Burgeo. And do you have any duties associated with that?
During come home year, I had to be present at all the suppers. And I spoke at suppers. And the visitors that came back from different places, that I would introduce myself to them and talk to them, got to know them, and if they needed any help or they just wanted to know something about Burgeo, they would ask me.
So you're a hostess and a tourist information center all in one.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Well, thank you very much.
I'm here at the Anglican Rectory with Reverend Glen Small. Reverend Small, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I came previously from the parish of Rose Blanche. It's just up the coast a few miles. Parish of about 3 congregations: Burgeo, Rose Blanche, and La Poyle. Previous to that, I would just left Queen's College. That was my first parish, and I left there in '84. I was ordained in '84. So previous to that, I did my services, my training in Queen's College, St. John's. 2 years at Queen's, and then prior to that it was a Bachelor of Arts degree at Memorial University. Part of it at Memorial and St. John's, and the other part at Grenville College in Cornwall.
Where'd you grow up?
I was born in Jackson's Arm, White Bay, so in northern peninsula of the island, and left there when I was about 12 years old, and moved to Bayvert for continue my education. It was a very small community. We didn't have high school there, so I'd move out. And left Jackson's Arm, went to Bayvert, and by the time I finished grade 9 in Bayvert, my parents had moved to Corner Brook. And from there, from Bayvert I went to Corner Brook and finished my education and began work. And that's where I met my wife. So.
Okay, so tell us about your wife. Got children as well?
I met Shirley in Corner Brook. She's from Corner Brook. We have 3 children, 3 boys. Oldest is Michael, he's 12 years old. And then the second is David, 7, and my youngest is Ryan. He's 4 months old.
Okay, what was your first impression of Burgeo, your first thoughts?
Well, my first thoughts of Burgeo was very positive, because I had the first experience I had here, a meaningful experience, was when Synod was held there just a couple of years ago. And it was one of the most well-organized and really hospitable events that I have ever been to in synods anyway. And what I've heard of when Reverend Smith, Paul and Francis were talking about the parish, you know, it was always a positive thing, you know, they always spoke very highly of it. And I had encounters with some people, say like they have relatives in Lapoille, and I've met some people here, the Warrens and Stricklands and things like that, and they were up to Lapoille, and I met them up there. Very positive, you know. So choosing to come here was it comes from a very positive experience.
So we're having this conversation on Thursday about when it's showing up is Sunday, and you already have had your first experience in our church. Are you looking forward to that?
Yes, I am looking forward to it. Got to start somewhere, I guess. It's be a bit different from what I'm used to. You know, you're having three communities to get to know, and here it's only just the one community, so that's going to be. I'm looking forward to that, just to get to know the people. However, it's a very positive thing. I've been only here just a little while, and already a number of people come in and made themselves known, and introduced themselves and welcomed me to the community, which is very fine. I'm a warden here. He came in and helped me unpack, and that's very positive, you know. So if the rest of the people are just half as nice as that, we'll have a fine time here.
Yeah. So how long have you been in town? A couple of weeks?
Off and on for a couple of weeks. 23rd of August is when I left the parish of Rose Blanche and came here. And I came here unpacked, and then I went to Corner Brook for pick up some things I needed in there and get my car repaired, and then I came back 2 days ago.
So from the couple of weeks you spent around the area, what kind of feeling do you get about the parish? Because of course the Anglican Church dominates the town. Do you feel that it's healthy?
I really can't comment on that, because I haven't been here long enough to know. It appears healthy. I've heard some, you know, economic-wise, there's a good base to the community life. So I guess if people are employed, they at least have some resources to live on. I see a library here, and you know, a fair number of businesses. So I guess people must be doing fairly well here.
I was talking to the Pentecostal pastor, as the people have seen, and he commented that there were a lot of people in the community that don't go into any church, and he hoped that those people will probably come to his church or come to some church. Would you hope to reach that sector of the population?
Well, I'd like to be able to touch everyone, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be possible. I know the Anglican Church here has approximately 750 families. That may not sound like a big number, but when you're trying to meet people plus do all the other things that has to be done, that gets to be quite the chore.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's something I had to sit down with the vestry and discuss, because to some degree they determine the priority in which I put on certain work. We discuss that and we'll find out what they want as their priority, and if they want visiting as their priority, well then we'll probably do visiting, and they'll have to find other ways to get other things done.
That's it for tonight, folks. Thank you for joining us. Join us next week when we'll have a special program on Sandbanks Provincial Park. We will show you a moose that's been wandering around up there and a rare species of birds. As well, we will talk with an American tourist. Stay tuned now for a special edition of CBC's Coffee Break on the Newfoundland School for the Deaf. As you probably know, there are 2 or 3 children from Burgeo attending that school. Thank you for joining us tonight on behalf of Burgeo Broadcasting System and the BBS volunteers. Have a great week.